Okay, today we have a question from Steve. Steve's a portfolio manager, manages a large number of patents for an established enterprise. And this question is, how do I make sure I'm not spending too much on maintaining low-value patents? And that's kind of at least a two-parted question, is what is a low-value patent? And there are a million opinions on that, but what's most important is what is the value to your enterprise? And that is a very, very tough question. It's not quite so self-evident as it might seem, because generally, when you initially file your patent, you're going to file it to your idea, right? Because you're the first one to invent it. You don't know if anybody is infringing it because you're first. You're really the only person who's likely to be stepping on that patent. But over time, what will happen is, presumably, if it's a great idea, your success with that idea will breed competition. That competition will start following you into the marketplace, and that patent will be lying there to stop them. So really, the salient question is with a particular patent that's perhaps been filed a few years ago, it's in the argument phase, which is pretty expensive. Or maybe it's already been issued and then there's fees along the way. They're called annuities or patent taxes or maintenance fees. Those get progressively more expensive. So for a large entity, 14.5-year maintenance fee, I believe it's over $7,000. So that often is about 1/6 the cost of the patent over its whole life cycle. So what you want to look is at these different phases. You want to constantly be reevaluating whether or not this patent has value to the enterprise. So one of the things that I always think of is just a scale of 1 to 10. Simple scale, 1 to 10. If you could, every time you think about that patent and dig in to look at it, if you could update where it is on that 1 to 10 scale, right? And a lot of it's going to depend if it actually did end up being a good idea and the competition started copying it, or perhaps the whole industry has evolved around this idea, and it's a pioneering patent that is foundational to most people's things, then of course the value is going to be closer to 10. If it's the sort of thing that even a couple of years later it's been orphaned and that the industry has pivoted in this direction, well, then the value is maybe a 3 or a 2. So that when you have these decisions and you're working with your patent prosecutor, they'll say, well, we're getting some pushback from the patent office, or there's this big fee due. You want to look at that value or update that value and say, well, why throw good money after bad? And think about it as you go along. Occasionally, companies will have a big event. They're cutting budget or something like that, and they'll go through a formal pruning process. And there, same sort of thing. You want to look at the whole portfolio. You want to rank the things. You want to have an appreciation of how much cost would be saved to cutting a patent or not. Like if all the maintenance fees have been paid, there's typically several years at the end where nothing is due. So why would you abandon that case? But think about the cost associated with it to continue this process, and the value, maybe the likelihood that value might change if it's very early in the process. But if you can do that on a regular basis, you're going to get the most return for your spend, which is quite expensive to get patents. But if you can save that money and use it elsewhere in the business, or you can save that money and file additional patents, you'll be way ahead. So with that, let me know if you have any additional questions in the comments down below. And if you are liking what you're hearing in these short little one question, couple minute sessions, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.